Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable to our lecturer, Ma'am Anissa Astrid ST MPD, and all of my beloved friends that watch the video. Okay, we are group 9. Today we are going to talk about 5 questions by our lecturer, Ma'am Anissa Astrid. But before that, let me introduce our group. My name is Ira Pritiwi and my friends Devista Aripurnama and Merlinda. Okay, I will answer the question number 1 and 2. The question number 1, the difference between objective and subjective tests. Okay, objective tests. Objective tests display questions that test student factual knowledge about a particular subject. This question can be asked in the form of multiple choice, true or false, or limited answers, and there is usually only one correct answer. While subjective tests display questions designed to test student understanding of a given subject by presenting original answer. This question can be asked in the form of a timed essay, short and long response question, and problem-solving exercise. And then, objective test, there is a types. The first, analogize. Second, multiple choice. And then true-false, matching items, fill in the blank, and sentence completion. While subjective test, there is a types, essay writing, composition writing, letter writing, reading, and answer the question. And then, skill to be test, objective test, there is a reading and listening. While skill to be test, subjective test, there is a speaking and writing. Okay, next, the second question, the differences between reference to nouns and reference to criteria in determine the interval score for the student. Okay, before that, reference to nouns and reference to criteria testing are two of the many types of testing methods used to assess a person's skills. These tests are used to measure performance, but they are relative to different criteria. The scores are also reported in a different format and interpreted differently. Okay, reference to nouns is a type of test that assesses the ability and performance of a student against others. It can also include groups of students against other groups of students. This was done to differentiate between high and low achievers. Test content covers a broad topic area that students are expected to know, and the difficulty level of the content varies. This test must also be given in a standard format. The normal reference test help determine the position of students in a predetermined population. And then there is example reference to noun tests include SAT and ACT. While reference to criteria is a type of test that assesses the ability of students to understand the specific curriculum. In this test, curriculum is set at the beginning of the class, then explained by the instructor at the end of the lesson. The test is used to determine how much the student understands. This test is usually to measure the level of understanding of students before and after instruction is given. It can also be used to determine how well instructors are teaching students. The test must have material that is discussed in class by the instructor. The teacher or instructor sets the test according to the curriculum presented. This example of reference criteria include tests that are given in school and college in class by a teacher, where it helps teacher determine whether students should pass the class or not. Well, that's all for my explanation. Let's continue to number 3, will be explained by Devista Aripurnama.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Devista Arpunama as the next presenter. Now I will present about the differences between correctness and appropriacy. Now we talk about the correctness. What is correctness? Correctness is the notion that such a word form, synthetic structures, and rules or grammar, or we call it grammatical. For example, in speaking, how to spell the word, and then in writing, how grammatical in a sentence. For example, like as what kinds of tenses that you use, and then in listening, how the spelling of the word that we hear. In grammar, how the words are put together to make a correct sentence. And the last, in reading, how is the pronunciation of the word in the sentence. Next, we talk about the appropriateness. What is appropriateness? Appropriateness refers to the whether a word is suitable for the context it is being used in or the extent to which a sound and phrase. For example, in academic writing. Academic writing also makes synthetically appropriate a grammatical choice. So, as we know, academic writing is a formal writing. So, let's take the example. For example, we choose a direct or indirect question. And then the second is a tonal appropriacy. What is tonal appropriacy? It means the tone or emotion the writer to the reader. For example, like as use a polite or impolite a sentence. And the last is stylistic appropriacy. What is stylistic appropriacy? Stylistic appropriacy, it means that style in the writing. For example, when you write a similar word, for example, large and big. So both of them have the similar meaning. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thanks for watching. So see you the next presenter. The next presenter, time is yours.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Merlinda. I will explain the material number 4, the differences between authentic and artificial tests. Authentic can mean real, concrete, objective, really the result of the appearance of students, as well as accurate and meaningful. An authentic assignment is one that requires application of what students have learned to a new situation, and that demands judgment to determine what information and skills are relevant and how they should be used. Designing an authentic test can be said to be difficult if authenticity is taken literally to mean replicating real life. There is no such thing as the replicating of real life in a test, because the test can only be held under one set of conditions. In authentic tests, the teachers assess students directly based on students' process and outcomes. While artificial tests, artificial assignment help teachers in exams is a higher standardization of answers, yes or no, multiple choice question, or fill in the blanks, which is easier to judge by the machine. In artificial tests, The teacher is not an assessor.